Hey everyone, welcome back to Adrian Movie. Today, as always, we're diving into the hottest events that shook the cinema world over the past week. So let's kick things off with the latest trends and see what's buzzing globally. One of the biggest stories right now? The Mandalorian. Yes, the spin-off from the Star Wars universe is still making headlines. While Star Wars has fans worldwide, the response varies from region to region. So, what's going on with The Mandalorian? Well, its first week at the box office was strong, but week 2 saw a shocking 70% drop in sales, the steepest second-week decline in the entire history of Star Wars films. Total earnings reached $246 million, while production costs were around $170 million. The film needs to surpass $350 million to break even, and with this decline, it might not hit that mark. However, it's still too early to call it a commercial failure. Meanwhile, another movie is absolutely crushing it. Backroom, even though its cinema score wasn't stellar. It raked in $134 million in its opening week alone, making it the highest-grossing film in A24's history in the US market. Keep in mind, this film had a budget of just $10 million, so it's already earning 12 to 13 times its budget. An incredible feat. Social media trends are also booming. Other studios are leveraging viral content to promote their films. For instance, the makers of Minions released animated clips online trying into Backroom. Similarly, Scream 6, being marketed, is using memes inspired by Backroom to boost engagement. And then there's Obsession, another standout. Its performance in theaters is fascinating. It's now in its third week of release, yet online buzz has propelled its box office to $162 million. It's one of the rare films in history to see a week-over-week increase by its third week. Originally, a high-quality version was supposed to hit the internet soon, but due to its massive success, the online release has been postponed indefinitely. The movie had a tiny budget of just $750,000 and has now earned over 200 times that amount. In box office charts, both Barroom and Obsession made it into the top 10, and media analysts are noting an interesting trend. Both films were directed by incredibly young directors who are also YouTubers. This could signal a shift in Hollywood, with more internet creators stepping into directing roles and bringing online stories to the big screen. Not every trend is a success story, though. Mortal Kombat 2, the sequel to the post-pandemic original, struggled despite an increased marketing push. Part of the blame is on its predecessor's weak campaign. But even with star power like Karl Urban and an $80 million budget, the sequel only managed $130 million at the box office, likely ending in a commercial loss. Rumors suggest a third installment might be cancelled. Moving on to TV trends, a romantic series from Amazon recently went viral out of nowhere. In just 12 days, it amassed 36 million views, becoming Amazon's third most watched series, trailing only The Lord of the Rings and Fallout. The show, outside the university, became popular purely through internet buzz rather than traditional marketing. Amazon quickly greenlit a second season, which is already filming while the first season is still airing. A strategy reminiscent of the Lord of the Rings series, which also films subsequent seasons while earlier ones are airing. Now, let's dive into the world of video game adaptations, because the gap between cinema and gaming is shrinking faster than ever. One of the most exciting upcoming projects is from Craig Mazin, the mind behind Chernobyl. He's taking on a new video game adaptation from Baldur's Gate, one of the most acclaimed games of 2023, which even snagged the Best Game of the Year at the Game Awards. Like Last of Us, HBO is producing this series, but here's the twist. Unlike traditional linear stories, player decisions in the game influence outcomes. The creators promise a narrative that will still surprise even those who played the game, ensuring a fresh experience for everyone. Another major adaptation is Battlefield, which already has producers attached. The director slated for the project is none other than Christopher McQuarrie, famous for Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning, and the lead star, Michael B. Jordan, who's hot off his recent Oscar win. Pre-production is underway, and filming could begin early 2027. Right now, a bidding war is happening among 5 major studios: Warner Brothers, Amazon, Sony, Universal, and Netflix, all fighting for the rights to this blockbuster project. Speaking of Sony, they have 2 more exciting adaptations on their slate. Bloodborne, a cinematic animated feature aimed at adults, promising promising extreme violence and a dark, intense storyline. Production is underway, and we're likely to see it enter development in the next year, with marketing kicking off at the next CinemaCon, Metal Gear Solid, a project revived after being on hold. Oscar Isaac is set to star, and Sony has renewed production efforts following the success of the latest Uncharted installment. On the live-action side, Highlander is back in the spotlight. Henry Cavill is producing and acting in this big-budget project, directed by Chad Stahelski, the genius behind John Wick. Amazon is producing this new series of films, and it's unclear how many installments are planned, but plenty of stories are expected to unfold. They're also adapting the hit game Life is Strange into a series, scheduled for release in 2027. Meanwhile, Netflix isn't standing still. They're racing to adapt Gears of War, with David Leitch directing, the man behind Deadpool 2 and Bullet Train. The script is finalized, and pre-production is moving fast. The film promises an epic sci-fi story set in humanity's war against aliens beyond Earth. And let's not forget Sonic the Hedgehog 4. Production has moved into the voice recording stage, with Jim Carrey reprising his role. Joining him are Keanu Reeves, Idris Elba, and Christian Bale. And the film is scheduled for release in March 2027. Interestingly, we're also seeing video games inspired by films, like a John Wick game adaptation, which is coming soon, though no release date has been announced yet. Now, let's jump into new films and upcoming releases that have been making waves in Hollywood this past week. Starting with Pixar, the studio is as busy as ever. Pete Docter, Pixar's creative head, announced a brand new animation called Gato, which introduces a completely fresh, hand-painted visual style. Docter explained that they're at an exciting point in animation history. Their audience has grown up with massive content and now craves something unique. If this new style resonates with fans, Pixar plans to continue pushing boundaries in storytelling and visual innovation. Pixar also confirmed the third installment of Monsters, Inc., along with Incredibles 3, which is slated for July 2028. Disney, the parent company, revealed updates for Toy Story 5. There will be an original song by Taylor Swift titled I Knew You, I Know You, featured in a poignant scene where Jessie recalls memories of her original owner, guaranteed to hit the feels. Moving on to sequels and reboots, Paramount has announced a new film extending the story of the Godfather trilogy. This project will adapt a recently published novel and focus on the story of Vito Corleone's only daughter, Connie. Pre-production is expected to start late 2026, with filming beginning in early 2027. Francis Ford Coppola confirmed he has no involvement in the project and won't return for writing. Similarly, The Mummy 4 is planned for spring 2028, bringing back Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz, with the director being the same one who helmed Scream 5. Fans of nostalgia can also look forward to Men in Black: Legendary, with Will Smith reprising his role alongside Michael B. Jordan. Crossovers are also trending. Django and Zorro are set to share the screen. Both stories occur in the same timeline, and Sony will produce the film with Quentin Tarantino's permission. While Tarantino will not be involved in production, the rights to Zorro are public domain, allowing the studio full creative freedom. For monster lovers, Godzilla Minus One is on the horizon. Following the success of the previous film, which won an Oscar for Best Visual Effects, the new installment will feature Godzilla in New York City, with early images showing the iconic creature near the Statue of Liberty. The release is planned for next year. Not all sequels are blockbusters, though. TV adaptations and series are also expanding. For example, Peaky Blinders is returning with a new series focusing on Tommy Shelby's son, Duke Shelby. Initially, Cillian Murphy was considered for the role, but due to scheduling conflicts, Jamie Bell has stepped in. Cell's Stranger Things star is joining as Charles Shelby, Duke's half-brother. The story is set post-World War II, where the Shelby family reunites. The series is already renewed for 6 episodes, and if successful, further seasons are likely. Other series updates: Proolbes, which ended last year, has had its second season delayed. Production will only start in the fall, with a release planned for late 2027 on Apple TV+, meaning fans will wait at least a year and a half for new episodes. Finally, a cancellation worth noting. Ted Cell, despite being the most watched comedy series across streaming platforms in 2026, will not see a third season. The high production costs for CGI-driven puppetry, despite Seth MacFarlane's desire to continue for 20 seasons, ultimately led to the cancellation. Even though Seth MacFarlane had plans to continue the series for up to 20 seasons, this decision has officially ended the show after season 2. Internet trends are also shaking things up. Fans have been creating viral AI videos, replacing iconic movie characters with Elliot Page, poking fun at director Christopher Nolan's casting choices in Odyssey. The official news from the film so far? A new poster was released showing Elliot Page battling giant Trojan soldiers, but audiences have been quick to critique the disproportionate scale of the characters in social media discussions. Looking at other high-profile projects, Martin Scorsese is finally making progress on his new Apple TV Plus film, What Happens at Night. Images have surfaced featuring Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence, with Scorsese confirming that the film is heavily inspired by Alfred Hitchcock. Both main actors watched Hitchcock films to immerse themselves in suspenseful storytelling, aiming to replicate the mysterious, tension-filled atmosphere of classics like The Shining. The story follows an American couple traveling to a tiny, snowy European town to adopt a child, only to discover the town hides a slew of mysterious events. Paul Thomas Anderson has revised the script, making it even more gripping. Other notable directors are also making headlines. Park Chan-wook, director of Oldboy, has cast Pedro Pascal, Matthew McConaughey, and Austin Butler in his latest project, which follows a sheriff and a doctor teaming up to secretly eliminate a gang of criminals. Meanwhile, Taika Waititi's new film, From Clara and the Sun, starring Jenna Ortega and Amy Adams, is set for release this October. In the film, Amy Adams plays a woman who purchases a robot to improve her mental health, but things don't go as planned. Lastly, Yoon Sang-ho, famous for Train to Busan, is directing a new zombie thriller set in a skyscraper. A group of survivors must descend from the top floors as zombies overrun the building. The film is set for release this summer. And for animation fans, Geraldo Tru has signed a major deal with Netflix to produce a stop-motion adaptation of the Nobel Prize-winning 2015 novel, The Buried Monster. Production is expected to take years, with a new studio and training center established to teach the next generation of animators to bring this ambitious project to life. Now, let's switch gears to the glitz and glamour of celebrity news from the past week. First up, Dua Lipa and Callum Turner tied the knot. Their wedding photos went viral across the internet. They got married in the same iconic church where many celebrities have said, "I do." Interestingly, the ceremony hinted that neither is particularly religious, yet it was a stunning, high-profile event. Fun fact, Callum Turner is one of the frontrunners rumored to be the next James Bond. And some fans speculate that Dua Lipa could potentially sing the theme for the next Bond film. In other celebrity news, Kristen Stewart opened up about her unique journey in Hollywood. She revealed that she loves the craft but struggles with directing. After several personal projects failed commercially, she expressed a desire to become the first director to make a Hollywood film and then release it on YouTube, investing any earnings into her next project. It's a bold move that could reshape her career trajectory. Sydney Sweeney also made headlines. She officially launched her production company, Honey Trap, moving beyond her previous venture that primarily bought and sold scripts. Her new company focuses entirely on production, with a first-look deal with Sony Pictures. That means Sony gets the first opportunity to pick up any project she produces, an impressive achievement that gives her considerable industry leverage. There's also a major stir surrounding Euphoria. Despite its popularity, Season 3 has been officially cancelled, mainly due to the backlash over the excessive sexual content in Season 3. HBO confirmed that there will be no Season 4, ending the series after 3 seasons. Interestingly, the controversy even extended to on-set creative decisions, where directors had to negotiate over certain camera angles and explicit scenes, but Sydney Sweeney insisted that her scripts be fully realized without censorship. Moving on, Jonathan Majors is making a comeback after being ousted from Marvel films due to past allegations. He's now set to star in a new action film, though the release date and success are still unknown. Tom Hardy also made headlines. He was previously removed from the series Mobland for unprofessional behavior, including repeated tardiness on set. After issuing formal apologies, he's reportedly in negotiations to return for Season 3, showing that even top stars sometimes need to hit the reset button. Another big comeback story is Nicolas Cage. After years away from high-profile roles, he's back in Hollywood with a starring role in Spider-Man Noir. Cage shared in an interview that his performance impressed producers so much that he's also been offered a role in Season 5 of True Detective pending contract finalization. Finally, let's talk about the children of celebrities. Jennifer Lopez's daughter just graduated high school and publicly came out as a transgender boy, adopting the name Oscar. Amy Adams brought her 16-year-old daughter to the red carpet for her upcoming series The Strait of Fear, signaling the next generation of stars being introduced to a Hollywood spotlight. Similarly, Martin Scorsese's daughter is preparing for her first acting role in Season 2 of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, stepping into the industry alongside her famous parent. And to wrap up celebrity drama, a headline from the past few months resurfaces. David Harbour divorced, and recently singer Lily Allen made headlines by performing on stage in a 9-meter-long dress printed with receipts revealing Harbour's extravagant gifts to other women over the past 4 years. Luxury purchases, designer purchases, expensive gifts, and dozens upon dozens of transactions reportedly covered the fabric of the dress. The moment photos and videos hit social media, they exploded across the internet, whether people viewed it as performance art, public revenge, or simply one of the most creative celebrity call-outs ever. One thing is certain, it instantly became one of the biggest viral entertainment stories of the week. Honestly, if you're going to expose somebody, that's definitely one of the most creative ways to do it. It was a jaw-dropping revelation, and the divorce officially ended a 4-year relationship. And that's going to do it for this week's movie and entertainment news roundup. We covered everything from major box office surprises and gaming adaptations to upcoming blockbuster sequels, streaming hits, celebrity weddings, controversies, and some truly wild Hollywood stories. As always, let me know down in the comments. Which news story surprised you the most this week? Are you excited about the upcoming video game adaptations? Do you think projects like Baldur's Gate, Battlefield, and Gears of War can become the next big franchise successes? And what are your thoughts on all the celebrity drama we've seen lately? I'd love to hear your opinions. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest updates from the world of movies, TV shows, and entertainment. Thanks for watching, thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone.